When we deal with ethics, the primary concern with ethics is protecting the individual or the human subjects. In the previous researches, there have been crime against human rights that have been conducted by our previous researchers, especially those times in the Nazi experiments, the Tungsky experiments. Uh, because of this, a lot of standards and policies were created to ensure the safety of our human participants. So, in ethics of
Ay, hello
evaluation,
po. Excuse me, Miss Kadot Dot. Can you share your
po,
screen?
ay hindi po nakita, sorry po.
Sige, okay.
Um, continue. Okay. How about now po? Okay na po? Thank you po, ma'am. So, yun. Ulitin ko po. When we say ethics, this is very important for us because without ethics, we are just like bees loose upon this world. Without ethics, the researchers are ano, unlimited in terms of the capacity or the crimes that they could do to humans. So, in dealing with ethics, we are more concerned on the protection of the welfare of individuals or the human subjects who are participating in our study. In terms of impact evaluation naman, we cater on protecting those individuals that are part of those programs, and we ensure that these programs that we are evaluating would really benefit those individuals, that the results being produced are they are robust, they are valid, they are credibles. Now, in terms of areas of concern, this is not just an responsibility of those conducting the evaluation, but also it's also a responsibility of those funding the program, those who are implementing the program, as well as the evaluators. Those who are funding the program, it's their responsibility to ensure that at the start of the program, the safety of the participants are being ensured, and those who are implementing the program, they have that responsibility that they would follow through what was designed for that program and to be fair in their dealings, in their um, management of the program. And for those who are evaluating the program, it's their responsibility to really uh, be able to measure the impact of that study, that program, and for them to really to see how this program would be beneficial for all, and whether there will be discrepancies in the implementation of the program. So there are several areas that I will be discussing later on, and one by one we'll be evaluating those. So for us to have a picture of how important is ethics in impact evaluation, let's envision what is being done in our four-piece program. Imagine if the four-piece program was designed in a way that the beneficiaries chosen were not are not properly identified, or walang proper means to kung kumaga kung sino-sino lang ang binibigyan for the program, or kung sino lang yung malapit sa implementors ng program. Or what if the program is being run all throughout, but there are no sufficient data, or there is no sufficient study would really say that the program is functioning well, or that the program really meets its purpose. Or imagine if um, yung mga personal information natin, those participants participating in this program, their personal information would be leaked out in public. Imagine what would happen if those things uh, would happen in that program. It would create outcry, public outcry. It would be a feast sa social media, and it would really damage the credibility of those who are implementing and funding the said program. So for us to eliminate those, we have to be particular in terms of being ethical in the conduct of our program as well as in the evaluation of our program. So first, we will be focusing on, sorry, nag-backflow. First, we'll be focusing on the ethics of assignment to treatment and comparison group. So the first rule in the Hippocratic Oath is do no harm. So in our program, sometimes there are certain risks that our participant may face, may it be directly or indirectly. For example, um, in a road widening program or project, there are certain families who will be displaced or be affected with this road widening. Another example would be um, funding agencies that would implement programs literacy programs on IPs. However, they are not considering the mother tongue or the situation, the local situation of that particular or area, that would raise certain concerns and affect the lifestyle of those individuals being catered to. Another problem in terms of assigning assignment to treatment and comparison group, um, we have set criteria for us to be able to choose properly our participants, because it is very it's our goal to choose participants that would really benefit from this study, and cri- of those who are uh, part of that criteria that we are choosing for. So, in terms of choosing our participants, there might be participants who are equally needing of that program, and yet we cannot give it to them. And there are certain situations also that um, we have to expand our program to include these individuals. So the funding or agency should make reasonable effort to expand the program to include the comparison group once the impact evaluation has been completed. So hindi lang natin sila basta-bastang iiwan. So those na ginamit na part ng comparison group, they should be equally benefiting from that program. Now, another concerns with this is um, ethical concerns about not pursuing an evaluation when program invests substantial resources in intervention whose effectiveness is unknown. So it is also unethical if we're not gonna pursue with the evaluation, and the funding agencies are continuously wasting resources and intervention, and yet we don't know how effective it is. And the information about the effectiveness of the program is important because it would lead us to more efficient and ethical investment of public resources. So in terms of ethics of assignment, evaluations should be fitted to program assignment rules to the extent that those are clear and fair. Expand the program to include the comparison group once the impact evaluation has been completed. And then for the second area, protecting the human subjects during data collection, processing, and storage. So in this aspect, our problem is about anonymity. How do we ensure or how do we safeguard the identity of our participants? It's very crucial for us to take care of this information because this information could damage our participants once we leak it into the public. Imagine if you're part of a survey and wherein your information about your family income, details about your finances was being leaked in the public. So this could be a area wherein scammers or those who are in phishing could use this to further personal gain, and this could cause damage, financial damage to that family, wherein their private data are being leaked. Or imagine in a healthcare system wherein the information about HIV positive patients were being leaked. So it would be very damaging on their mental health, on their social life once this information are being leaked. Another situation is imagine if there was a conduct there was a survey about family planning and the enumerator was not that sensitive in the conduct of the interview. He was only interviewing the wife and they are discussing something na not in favor with the husband. So imagine what would be the impact of that after the interview. It would cause marital problems within the family. Another example is if you hire an enumerator that is not properly skilled for a particular task or procedure, for example, drawing blood or extracting blood. So this could directly cause harm to our participants, giving them hematomas, ano pa ba, excessive bleeding if na-arterial nyo yung puncture, and it could cause distress to our patient. Another example is if in a conduct of survey, your participant decided to back out or to be left out sa study, and your enumerator would try to force them to continue on to pursue further, just just to be able to meet the needed number of participants. So this situation posed unethical concerns in our conduct of study. So in terms of protecting our participants, there have been a lot of guiding rules. Sorry, asthma po. There have been several guiding rules and policies that were drafted. One of this is the WHO basic criteria for assessing the research project. So first of all, the rights and welfare of the subject should be adequately protected. Second, it should be the informed consent should be freely given to the by the participants, and the balance between risk and potential benefit should be assessed. And lastly, any special national requirements should be met. So, aside from the WHO basic criteria for assessing the research project, we also have the Belmont Report of 1978. So, this is the most known or the most cited na document pertaining to uh, participants' welfare in a biomedical and behavioral study. So actually, this report caters to three particular area: the respect for person, beneficence, and justice. So when you say respect for person, you are ensuring that uh, what you are doing or what you're conducting in your study or in that program would give justice or would be um, respecting the humanity of our participants. So imagine what happened on Nazi experiments where certain Jews were exposed to certain criteria that is very ano um, painful and unhuman na mga experiments. So yun. That's an example of in this aspect respect for person, the integrity of being a human person. And then beneficence, this study should be of benefit also to our participants. Not necessary na mag-extort ka. No, don't do the extortion. But rather, give what is just due for that particular person. For example, that person, if that person participates in your study and a certain hour of his work is being natatanggal, nababawasan, and he is just being paid per hour. So it is just right that you would compensate for that lost hours na lost hours na nawala sa kanya because he participated in your study. And then justice. So in protecting our human subjects, to summarize it, the research, we must submit our research and data collection protocols for the IRB to review and for us to have our clearance prior to the conduct of our or prior to the implementation of our program. And then all information during the course of data collection should be anonymized to protect the identity of our respondents. So dito na pumapasok yung we code the information, the very important or crucial information in our study. And then we also make sure that this soft files wherein our data are being stored are encrypted para hindi lahat may access. As well as there are certain scenarios wherein um, location or contact numbers of our participants are needed for us to do follow-ups. It is acceptable, but we have to be responsible in storing those information and making sure that this information will not be leaked in the public. And then the informed consent. So it's very crucial that we get the informed consent from our participants prior to conducting any program or any study on them. And then lastly, ensuring reliable and credible evaluations through open science. So it is termed or coined open science because the goal here is we want to be transparent. We want our data, we want our protocols to be available in the public so that uh, we could test the reliability of the results as well as there would be transparency. So, for us to have a unbiased, robust, reliable, credible, and results that contribute to a wider body of knowledge, we always go back to our methods, how how we have designed the study. Now, a good result can contribute to a good policy decision and to improving people's life. That is why it is very important for us to be able to come up with evaluations that are really credible, that are really robust for the policymakers to have a informed decision on how to pursue next in their course of projects, and for other policymakers to be able to come up with good policies that would really benefit or would impact the life of their constituents. Now, in terms of um, our last part, the open science, there have been several issues we face in this. We have six actually. So we have publication bias. In this particular problem, the decisions are based on a distorted body of knowledge. policymakers have little information of what doesn't work and continue to adopt policies that have no impact. In this publication bias, meron kasi tayong tendency na pag ang study is negative or hindi maganda, hindi siya yung in-expect natin, we have the tendency to shy away. But actually, it is being encouraged that regardless of the result, it is still a result. And we have to publish these studies despite na negative siya na study. Kasi it would give further information for other researchers that would like to further in that particular field and for policymakers to know also what works and what doesn't work. So, one way to mitigate this concern about publication bias is to have these trial registries. Ibig sabihin, you're not still done with the study, but you're gonna register that particular study and what is the course of that study. So, kahit na hindi siya ma-publish, pero once nasa trial registry siya, nagiging ano pa rin siya, nagiging accessible pa rin siya sa public. So, other people, other researchers could still see your study. Another concern is data mining. So, in data mining kasi, the problem is policy decisions to adopt interventions may be based on unwarranted positive estimates of impacts. So, sa data mining kasi parang um, parang mo minamagic ang data. Parang ganun ang dating niya. You are trying to find ways that would for example, you would want to expand further the participants until such time that you have a positive result, or the other way around is you just stop where kung saan okay na ang okay na ang result mo, positive na result mo, not necessarily reaching yung desired or yung planned na sample size mo. So that's one example of data mining. So in this, to mitigate this concern, we have the pre-analysis plan. So it's very crucial for us before the conduct of the study to have your kumbaga protocol or your plan. How will you conduct this one? And for you to really follow through what have been planned for this study. Another concern is the multiple hypothesis testing. So in this problem kasi, policy decisions to adopt interventions may be based on same pa rin with data mining, unwarranted estimates of impact. So our way to mitigate this one is pre-analysis plan, specialized statistical adjustment techniques. Another concern with our is the lack of replication. So in this particular problem, the tendency would be policies may be based on manipulated results, as results may be due to error in calculations. So we lack replications in our study, probably lack in finances or what resources, or just a mishap in the implementation of the study. And for this, to mitigate this one is to have data documentation, proper data documentation, and registration. So once registered, it may be made public. Then people who would like to verify the study or would do the same study could check it. Another problem is the undetected mistakes and manipulation. So in this particular issue kasi, the results between the studies cannot be compared. So kahit na finalo through mo yung same procedure, same pero you cannot still arrive through the same results because there might be undetected mistakes, and there have been probably some manipulations happening. So to avoid this one, same thing pa rin with lack of replication, we have to do proper data documentation and registration for everyone could verify that your outputs. Another problem is the being not interested in Me Too results. So Me Too results are those studies conducted na similar to with other studies. Same ano siya, as in same na procedure and but in a different sub area or in a different location. Those are Me Too studies or the Me Too results. There are kumbaga problems in terms of publications kasi pag there are certain publishers that are not interested in this kind of researches. Though this is very beneficial because this would give support to our claims, but because of limitations in the available na studies, similar studies being published because of this, um, nagkakaroon tayo ng problem in terms of the validity of results and other contexts cannot be tested. So, for this to be mitigated, there should be changes in the journal policies and funding policies na they would not just gonna limit to novel na mga studies, but rather try to explore also those kinds of researches that explores this kind of aspect. And lastly, the insufficiently documented intervention protocol. So with this problem kasi, policymakers may be unable to replicate the intervention in a different context. So same thing with the not interested in the Me Too results. What we could do here is changes in the journal policies and the funding policies. And as an overall, for us to have a ethical conduct of impact evaluation, first we have to ask this particular questions. Is the assignment to the treatment and comparison group fair? Are there are there any groups with particularly high need that should be receiving the program? And who will be execute the impact evaluation? Another uh, to do na checklist is, has the research team identified the relevant IRB or the NERC for them to be able to submit their protocols to be evaluated and for them to have the certification to conduct their study. Another checklist is, does the impact evaluation schedule allow sufficient time to prepare and submit the research protocol, to obtain consent before data collection from human subjects begin? So, always remember that the certification dapat before talaga yan siya the conduct of the study. Hindi pwede na natapos na yung study saka ka pa magpapacertify. Number 4 is, did the research team submit the research protocol and pre-analysis plan to a social science trial registry? And then fifth, is a procedure in place to ensure that the key elements of the intervention are documented as they happened and not only as they are planned? And lastly, do the policymakers understand that the evaluation result might show that the intervention was not effective, and do they agree of such results will be published and not be held back? So that's it for ethics and science of impact evaluation. Yun lang
Okay.
po, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Kadutdot. Sige, before we proceed to the next presenter, na alam po ko'y gusto i-share, no, Of course, as I have mentioned early in the semester no nga gi-appeal gyud nako ang ethics in evaluation kay actually it is becoming mga ethical concerns is becoming a problem especially for third world mga developing and less developed countries na in fact ang World Bank, dili niya ako ang himo-himo no. So, nako i-share sa inyo. In fact, ang World Bank na siya na-come up na kasi meron din akong subject, ang subject ko fiscal administration. So, it's more of value for money, 'di ba? Na yung pera ng gobyerno. So, and I also have subjects na government budgeting sa undergrad and sa MPA. So, ang World Bank was able to ay hello, madungog ba ko ninyo? Hello.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah, okay ra, madungog ko ninyo na. So, ang World Bank, you can actually search, di lang nako i-masend kay bugat pud siya ba, but you can search sa Google, sa internet. Ang World Bank, lagi siya na-publish na Public Expenditure Management Handbook. So, na-come up na siya na libro after 100 years of study daw, especially with comparing ba ang mga kay pinaka-ultimate goal man gyud nato no, why do we have to evaluate projects nga tanong magkuan tanong nganong we have to manage our resources, I mean budgeting, fiscal administration sa gobyerno no. So ang ato maging ultimate goal is development. As a matter of fact, there's branch of economics which is the public finance, di ba? The branch of economics that studies the impact of mga government interventions, budget, implementation, and taxation to the economy, no? Gina-analyze, gina siya nagyo-economic branch of economics that is doing that. So that's public finance. So after 100 years of study, comparing mga realities ba sa rich and mga developing countries like the Philippines and as well as mga less developed countries. So nakaka-come up sila PEM handbook. You can search actually, di na ako i-share kay ano magug kay siya kanang bugat kay siya. So ano lang, some portion lang of the Public Expenditure Management Handbook. So isa sa na learning na gi-share sa World Bank is yung nila ang development ug mga reform is not a destination but rather a pilgrimage kanang contrary ba sa atong usay ginatuhan nga kana na attain na nato ang target mundang na ta ana no. So kana manggod ang yung sa World Bank pilgrimage siya ba kay as long as we live totoo naman no dili magyud na mahuman kanang every time problems will just arise. So kung natay ma-solve na problem, then nanapoy mo arise no sa after addressing a particular problem, then nanapoy mo arise or pwede pod mo fail gyud ang mga strategies o mga intervention. So mao to ang ilang ginaingon nga ang development and ang mga reforms is more of or is a pilgrimage, not a destination. Kay kung may pilgrimage, di ba kanang journey, tuloy-tuloy lang ba, hindi ka titigil kasi kung destination, pag abot nimo na develop na na-attain na, human na, ending na, human na, diara ta kutob. So it's a pilgrimage, not a destination. So naa siya gi-suggest ang World Bank kanang about diagnosing weaknesses niya. Diagnosing weaknesses unya gi-compare niya ang government system sa human body na dili man kinahanglan na i-overhaul ang system if wala siya gikinahanglan og ang overhauling. So just like as well ang car, di ba? I-overhaul lang man nato kung daot gid ang tanang sistema no, and sa human body pod dili man pod kinahanglan siya kanang unsa ba i-dialysis ka or i-ano imuhang unsa ba na kanang so ba mga sa medical, di ba kanang mga kuyaw na kaayon na procedures. So depende man siya kung unsa ang na-diagnose na weakness sa imong body. So karon ang World Bank, sige i-share na ko. Just a portion of So ang World Bank karon appeal gyud ang evaluation sa iyahang na-identify nga kuan. So makit-an ba ninyo akong screen? So can you see my screen? Hello, madungog ba ko? Na ba ko basig mawala akong internet na?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes,
Nakikita po.
Makita ninyo, actually, this is the diagnosing the weaknesses and improving budgetary and financial management in the public sector. so may kalabutan sa evaluation. Of course, we spend the government's money kay naamang gutay ka ng target, no? So of course, in the case of mga developing and less developed countries like the Philippines, a developing country, ang ato amang gid is napagita sa stage gid nga poverty alleviation ba. So and we are also confronted with problems like kanang lack of resources. In fact, we all know no nga ang Pilipinas kay deficit financing gid siya. We've been experiencing deficit, we've been borrowing money, pero wala man ay problema if ang kuanon ta is productive, di ba, kanang naay return, di ba? May problema kung mangutang ta if naay return on investment. So wala may problema kung mangutang ta if ang kwarta gigasto siya, and then we have attained a certain level of development. So okay, going back, nagid siya yung mga checklist, no, kanang murag kung mura pug mag-check og daot sa lawas ba nga hemoglobin level, di ba, mga inana. So na siya 11 ka checklist actually niya. Na-appeal gid diri ang evaluation kay isa na sa nakita gid sa World Bank. In fact, ang kaning mga references nato sa evaluation, no, kay mga ano man pud ni kadaghanan pod published by the World Bank, the OECD, mga inana, no, kay after pod sa ilahang careful study, years of study, no. So appeal gid sa checklist. So mao ni ang mga kumbaga kung ang human body if mag-check ta, di ba, tan-awon ang atong blood, no, circulatory system, so pa ba skeletal system, excretory, o daghan nervous system, and so on and so forth. So kung sa governance pod kay ang 11 checklist nga tan-awon kung asa ba ang naay problema is mo pod ni siya ang baka yung batas, baka yung batas talaga kailangan nating i-reform, or baka yung batas hindi na siya kanang helpful para ma-attain natin yung mga goals, kasi dapat may kakambal talaga na batas kasi it will serve as control mechanism, no. And sige, di ko na isa-isahin to. So planning, syempre we plan, no, eto mga programs for development, sustainable development, or for the sustainable development goals mo na atong pinaka yun no target. And then ang evaluation, di ko na isa-isahin to, but ang checklist na siya, nani ang itsura, no? Actually, sa World Bank na siya nga Public Expenditure Management Handbook. So, ayan, may mga points to look for kasi para malaman natin na kung hindi pala pasado, so ang iyang assessment kay adequate ba or inadequate or needs improvement. So, kung asa diri sa 11 ka areas ang need to be reformed, so dito ta mag-focus mo na ang ingon sa World Bank. Dili necessary nga usbo na to ang system of government, usbo na to ang because tama, if actually daghan pa kay lessons pero di na nako maisa-isa, no, kay murag di nagyayo related tanan sa evaluation, but evaluation is an important aspect gyud para ma-attain nato ang development nato nga ginamithi, envisioned nato, the kind of development that we envision. So evaluation is very important kay basis man na nato to further decide kung i-promote pa ba nato ang program or ilisan ba nato bag-o or unsa man. So inani ang mga na siya checklist, na siya mga points to look for or items, kumbaga mura siya questionnaire gyud, no. And then kung asa diri sa mga 11 ka checklist or areas ang naay problema, so dito ta mag-focus. So sa evaluation, but you can again kung ganahan mo makatabang pud sa inyo as you work with as you are rather working with different government agencies, do pwede ninyo siya i-download kay kuha po siya na guide, daghan kag matun-an gyud sa mga lessons learned from various countries niya. Most importantly na ingon dito nga kana lagi ang pagka-performance oriented sa mga tao, problema, no, kanang mo na kinahanglan do ma-inculcate gido ang performance orientedness or performance orientation among the people para kanang focus bitaw ta sa performance nga dili tong doctorate degree nga pagka-performance. What I mean is, di ba kanang kung pangit ang data as what is discussed by Ms. Kadot-Dot, kanang ato ang kuan ba no nya murag lami kay paminaw nga how kay regression, well anyway kita tanan kabaluman ana na magyud smoothing sa data pero dili na siya tama kay maka-come up tag biased estimate kay gi-smooth out na to ang data na supposedly ang problema is lacking data, di ba? In fact, gitudloan ta noon saon pag I believe gitudloan mo sa inyong kanang higher statistics unsa gay na kanang data analytics na advanced data analytics na professor unsaon pag smooth out is na if naay mga butal-butal na data. Well, in the very first place, problema na to nganong naay butal na data. So sa evaluation dapat complete gid ang data kasi kung walang sapat na data, problema tayo. Kaya one of the issues there is the data mining. So ito yung sa evaluation checklist. So nakitaan pod sa World Bank manggod nga problemado pod ang evaluation na aspect sa mga countries, especially sa third and mga fourth world countries niya. Mas kana bang should I say mas properly implemented ang mga evaluation sa first and second world countries. Reason nga nung mas develop sila than us. So ingani itsura, inani ang points to look for sa evaluation practices niya. Kung tanawon nato, problema pag ganita sa akong nakita I've namagod mi subject sa undergrad nga project monitoring and evaluation. Awa ko ka-handle sa grad school but sa undergrad and then we naga-try mi og kana bang pa-evaluate og mga government programs kay di ba syempre ang government is open to public scrutiny man, dili man na dapat itago, di ba? In fact, kinahanglan na siya i-publish, requirement na siya sa balaod na i-publish nga lang, ang pinapublish nila yun lang maganda katulad ng sinabi sa reference natin na publication bias, yung maganda lang ang pinapublish. So, yun din tas nakita namin na ultimo yung mga objectives, mahirap talaga siya i-evaluate kasi wala siyang ito ba, 'di ba? May may gauge kung like in terms of percentage or kagaya ng sinasabi ko sa mga examples ko na if it's an agriculture project, so dapat na siya ikuan ba nga point of reference na increase in harvest or in farmers' income per hectare or unsa man na. So naa siya klaro na gauge, but the problem is wala. So kani gid isa dili ni ako aha sa World Bank ni. So kani dapat ang question is naabay kanang requirement for carrying evaluation. Yeah. Sa atin may requirement batas as a matter of policy. In fact, we are implementing the so-called zero-based budgeting system. Naagid na sa ato ang sa DBM na isa jud na siya sa kanang mga PM tools nato, public expenditure management tools nato nung ginagamit. So zero-based budgeting. So sa zero-based budgeting system, every year all programs financed by the government's money, kay requirement gyud nga i-evaluate siya para basis para sa mga sunod na tuig or sa sunod tuig kung ipadayon pa ba, i-terminate or i-expand or pulihan og laing project. So actually zero-based budgeting system we are required to conduct evaluations sa atong mga programs. Pero ang problema, how our ethics is more of, I believe it's more of ethics and how we design our evaluation kay sa nakita nako many daghan namig nakitaan nga mga agencies kay gi-assignment lagi sa estudyante even ang objectives dili siya measurable. So unsaon nato siya pag-evaluate karon nga di man siya measurable niya ambot gyud unsa na siya pag-report nga di pasara man pod kay mao lagi tuno ang gina-publish kay katura pong positive. So and then another is ang ginaingon nila dito sa points to look for sa World Bank na ang results kay gigamit ba gid siya for decision making. So positive or negative gigamit ba siya sa decision making. So meaning to say nga ang atong decisions based really on empirical evidence pero ang pangutana sa ato ang case, kumusta pod ba tong information na gihatag basig gwapo ra tanan so padayon ang project bisag dili di ay. That's why nagtataka tayo siguro kahit kayo din nagtataka sa kabila ng dami ng programa na inimplement ng Philippine government, bakit parang wala pa rin mahirap pa rin ang mga Pilipino, parang wala pa rin yung 4Ps, may evaluation ang PIDS, Philippine Institute for Development Studies. Nakita nila na yung mga 4Ps beneficiaries mahirap pa rin. Kung meron mang umangat, hindi siya dahil sa programa ng government. In fact, nakita pod namo na sa among mga studies sa community ever since college ko hangtod karon kay sa mga community researchers namo kasagaran day asenso dito gapog balik abroad or mga inana ba dili gyud ingon nga natabangan sa gobyerno kay ni asenso murag ana god So meaning to say murag nasayang ra day ang kwarta no kay wala siya nagmatter niya. Hantod karon mao ra gyapon ato ang target poverty alleviation. So parang we've been targeting poverty alleviation pero poverty seems to be adamant. So basig ang evaluation atong problema because it's not giving the government sound kuan ba feedback. So um government agencies have made decisions na dili based on real score. So basig kana. So maybe improving the evaluation system could really help. And then kana ang client survey certainly ba siya ginakandak. So isa pud na sa makita to minsan kulang yung data, may mga butal-butal na data kaya sa statistics tinuruan din tayo paano mag-smooth out, paano anong gagawin natin sa mga time series for example, anong gagawin natin dun sa mga time, quarter, or month na walang data. So maraming paraan like i-average natin and then yung average, yun yung ilalagay natin sa mga butal. So may mga paraan which is dili po, although statistically murag kuan siya acceptable pero ang impact I mean ang result magud niya naagid siya effect no sa especially sa kanang decision making sa government. So di na siya katong blue or katong least biased nga estimate kay nag-smooth out man ta sa data. And nabay incentives in the resource allocation and budgetary system. Yeah, actually we have PBB, we give incentives to kanang after evaluation no, we give incentives sa maayo nga performance but the problem is maayo ba gitong performance or sa papel lang siya maayo kaya naka-receive ng incentive. So actually as a matter of policy naman gitay incentives, we are incentivizing no, as in line with promoting performance orientedness sa atuan no, pero I mean among government officials and employees gina-incentivize man nato ang performance. In fact, strict kayo ang civil service kay sa SPMS, ang outs if you get I mean if you achieve the target, your grade is 3 satisfactory kasi iyon yung I mean sinisweldohan tayo para i-deliver yung target, 'di ba? So wala kang bonus. Sa civil service if you exceed 25% over your target, 'di ba yan yung VS? And then if you exceed 50% over your target, mo na ang outstanding. So, anyway, may mga maraming kalakaran din ang nangyayari. So, lastly, dito sa checklist sa World Bank, kay kanino, there is a requirement that new policy proposals are accompanied by evaluation strategies. Meron naman, kaya lang, siguro kumusta ba yung mga evaluation strategies tapos ina-approve naman lang din. Di naman siya ina-approve lang din naman, no? Sino kaya nagre-review? Baka kailangan may ano no, baka kailangan may office talaga na yung concern niya is evaluation or baka mas tama na third party. Pero kung third party po, for a couple of times na ka-experience na po ko no og mga kanang commission researches to evaluate a certain program sa mga government agency. So pag mag-report na mi sa result and then maay same na dili gwapo ang result kanang ipausab man gina nila nga ipagawas ginagwapo and that's reality. Di na lang kumusulti kung unsa na mga agency so far ang akong na-experience but it happens and I believe mo agree pod mo siguro I hope kabalo mo ana. So kana no and then eventually we are getting what we have been getting kay wala man real nga kung ano kanang sa ba kana bang religious or seryosong evaluation. So I hope aside from learning these methodologies kanang most importantly no kanang unta ma-learn ninyo sa kanina subject ang kung ano ang ethics sa evaluation ba nya. Nakit-an pud nako na nga murag ang mga siyempre no I've been attending mga like public forum, mga kuan mai-present sa estudyante ilang mga outputs ana mga thesis kanang murag na focus kita sa methods kanang murag bag how ka kung naramang gud ng methods isa yun raman na ang pinaka-importante din na is ang results sa imong study na mo matter siya makatabang siya for kanang sound decision making pero murag methodical kaayo siya nga murag ang focus is more of the methods and then if nagamit kag mga unsa ni kana mga di ba daghan magklase sa regression analysis, TOBIT, logic. Actually, it's not the method kasi. But alam nyo, yung result ng study and appropriateness ng paggamit ng method. And of course, yung result talaga ng study ang mag-matter na, ano ba siya ba, not biased or siguro dili man gina mga 100% na walay bias, kaya nga may mga margin of errors din tayo sa statistics. So at least yung tinatawag na blue, the best least least unbiased estimate. So, yun naman ang mahalaga, not the method. So, another thing, ito makitaan pa ba ninyo ako ang on screen? Hello? Madungog ko ninyo. Please mag-feedback kung di ko ninyo
Yes po,
madungog.
Please po.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So, makita niyo akong screen. Actually, ito yung nasa course pack natin. Makita?
Visible pa, Doc.
Yeah, sige. Thank you. So, ito yung pinesent actually ni Miss Kadot-Dot din. So, gusto ko lang din i-emphasize para ito yung mga publication bias. Yan talaga yung mga parang nangunguna, di ba, sa mga issues, no? Or mga, research issues in ensuring reliable and credible information for policy. So, I mean, of course, kanina mga evaluation, program evaluation kay gamiton man gid ni siya para sa policy decisions or program decisions sa gobyerno, no? So I believe most of us here are with in the government service, so kani publication bias. So I hope kanang you are in the position makatabang na maiwasan ni siya, no? Wala mo problema kung negative gid ang result, di mas maayo na hibaw-an nato para we can find ways to to improve. So distorted naman, kung publication bias, gwapo ra atong ipagawas or ato siyang smooth out para mugwapo ang result. So ang policy decision will be based on bias projection. So distorted, di ba? So dili gid ta maka-come up og pero siguro no ideal as it may sound, pero at least magtabang-taba no nga na mausab unta ni siya nga sistema na nauntay improvement. So mo man na ang pinaka-essence nga nung nag-PhD ta. And then kay para di ba mas makatabang ta better sa ato ang mga respective organizations. So data mining, so kana pud no kaniya na-discuss niyan kanina, no, kana bitong i-slice and dice ang data hantod nga ang result kay magwapo. So anyway, I'm sure gitudloan mo ana. So naay mga saan pag smooth out sa data para magwapo ang result. So anyway, dili na siya pagwapuhay og result, but kanang ang ato ang ang ato ang unsa ba kanang gauge is dapat ang iyahang bias na dapat minimal ba, no? So unbiased, kumbaga taas ang accuracy, taas na accuracy kana man ang ato ang pinaka importante na concern din ha. So kung ing-ani no nga gina-slice and dice ang data and also ang mahitabuan na mag-adapt na pud tag interventions na based on unwarranted positive estimates of impact. Mugawas dito ang impact taas kaayo no, maayo kaayo ang impact niya sa income niya. Di tinuod. So sayang ang kwarta sa gobyerno and we will be getting what we have been getting. Nahantod karon wag gyapon nato na-attain no ang So of course pre-analysis plan dapat kasi evaluation meron na talaga siyang part na talaga siya ng planning. So kani multiple hypothesis, ito din no parang nilalaro-laro ang data para maka-come up og positive result. So hindi naman tama 'yan. Basta siguraduhin natin yung accuracy, yung unbiased as much as possible no ng mga estimates. And then ito lack of replication. Okay, some faculty members na busay maglalismi ba kay wala sila na ang quali, okay, as basis for policy making. So ang policy making gyud na mga basis quanti gyud na siya kay ngano man dili man gud ta pwede mag-decide sa situation lang sa 5 ka tao. So ang quali gyud wala ta ningon na ang quanti is better than quali kay of course especially mga internationally funded projects, di lang man na sila pod musugot nga data lang atong ipakita, gusto po na nila na qualitative aspect, no, like testimonials, pero kana siya more of kanang sa batawag na supplemental, kasi syempre ang basis natin sa decision making yung data na gikan gyud siya sa daghang sample. So when we say lack of replication, kanang dili pwede na mag-decide ta nga ang study based lang sa reality sa isa ka province or isa ka region. So kinahanglan if we decide for the Philippines, for example, a certain agricultural program, kinahanglan i-replicate nato ang study or ang evaluation sa tibok Pilipinas, no, na ay representation ang tanang provinces kay dili man pud pwede maghimo tag national policy on the basis of reality sa isa or duha or tulo lang ka province. So kinahanglan ang study must be, kanang wide ang coverage. So dili man siya necessarily universal sampling, but universal sampling in terms of, say, provinces, so lahat ng provinces sa buong Pilipinas or lahat ng municipalities or barangays. Pero yung number of respondents, syempre i-randomize na natin yun, for example. So, and then, yun. So, meron pa pala, no, na-discuss ni Nelly na gusto ko rin i-emphasize yung free, prior, and informed consent. So, pag sa ethics, syempre, yung mga respondents natin, yung participants ng study, dapat alam nila, hindi pwedeng pilitin, no? Pilitin natin sila na ipakita kung ano, sabihin yung income. So, syempre, hindi natin sila pwedeng piliting maging part ng study. Pero, sa na-experience ko naman, participative man ang tao, basta i-explain lang sa kanya, no? And then, anytime, kung mag-quit, gusto siya mag-quit, so, dili po nato pugson kay that's against the human rights, no? Pugson yun nato sila if gusto na sila mag-quit. And then, yeah. So, kana gid no na ay free, prior, and informed consent. Dili lang na siya applicable sa IP communities kasi sa IP communities manggod nakabutang gina sa IPRA law, no, nga if mag-conduct pag-study within ancestral domain, kanang sulod sa ancestral domain nila, naagi dapat free, prior, and informed consent. So, as a matter of policy, sa IPRA law lang na siya nabutang. Pero ethics in research rather, would tell us na even if naaba na sa sulod sa kanang ancestral domain or maski asa na siya, syempre sa mga researchers, ang atong mga respondents, kinahanglan, bago ta mag-gather sa data, na agi free, meaning wala lagi pugos, free sila, prior and informed consent, no? And then, by the way, in selecting the beneficiaries pod, di pod pwede na kanang bias pod, no, nga na mention pod na diri sa ato ang reference na dili pod pwede nga mamili ta nga bawalan nato sila mo join sa program para naalang gyud tay comparison group. So hindi rin yan pwede. Actually, sa 4Ps, realistic na hindi na karga lahat kasi syempre may prioritization yung pinaka-poorest of the poor kasi kapos naman talaga ang gobyerno. Hindi din niya kaya na all at once makasama lahat ng dapat makasama sa program kasi limited din yung budget. So in that case, for example, sa 4Ps, 'di ba? Usually by phase, kasagaran sa government sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Usually by phase yung implementation because we cannot afford na all at once i-appeal sila because of scarcity of resources. So kung naka-by phase siya, katong phase 1 for example, sila natong treatment group. So katong na-assign sa phase 2 nga sa sunod pa sila tagaan sa program. So pwede to sila na for example comparison group. Pero dili pud pwede nga gituyo lang gid nato nga dili sila paapilon para naatay comparison group. So another example katong increasing example sa atong reference na increasing police visibility, gi-increase gyud ang police visibility sa lugar nga taas ang crime rate. So di pud pwede nga gituyo lang gid nato nga dili nato nibutang og police diri kay para comparison group ni. So bias na rin yun, no? So ethics would tell us di na siya pwede. So kanang seryoso gyud no nga wala na to gi-assignan of more police, wala na to gi-increase ang police visibility because dili gyud iyahang crime rate. So anyway, okay ra man to mahimong I mean comparison group. So yun, I think that would be all. Meron ba tayong gustong i-share din? Mga experiences, mga realizations, or meron ba kayong tanong about ethics? Hello? Madungog pa ba ko? Yes, si Joanne.
This is not a question, Doc, but more of parang observation ba. And during dun sa discussion ko the last time about
Managing yung sa'yo, no? Evaluation.
yung disseminating result po of impact
Okay.
evaluation. Para
Ay, so
mag-achieve.
cambio day, no? Di ba last month tong disseminating?
Oo,
Tama?
yes.
Oh,
So to achieve yung policy impact. So it was just emphasized din dun sa reading ko that yung impact evaluation is very crucial. And yet from the start of yung nag-iisip pa lang nung project, dapat naka-incorporate na dun yung inclusion of the impact evaluation. So,
part siya sa
yun
plano.
Opo, sa planning, yung in-emphasize mo rin that it's really part of the planning. Hindi yung parang at the end of the project, tsaka palang mag-iisip, magpaplano, ano ba. So, in-emphasize ko doon that even from the start, alam na natin kung sino yung magiging audience, who would be the participant, then
Tsaka may baseline data gathering dapat. Isa pa yan sa problema ba, may mga ahensya na walang baseline data. So, paano natin diba? No?
oo, kaya nga. And then, sharing also yung German philosopher na sabi niya na it's only through evaluation that we can really measure if the value exists. So without evaluation, it's just parang hollow lang. So walang effect, kaya ito yung irony doon that tsaka pa lang sa last point nag-evaluate, so supposed to be from the start para malaman mo talaga if this is effective or not. So yun yung siguro nga pabalik-balik kong sinasabi that it should start from somewhere, like sa amin sa research group. Hindi talaga naka-emphasize yung evaluation na yun. Siguro naka-anchor siya dun sa responsibility ng planning division namin, for example. But yung nag-i-implement ka and knowing ikaw yung may alam, dapat planning pa lang, alam mo na, or sa planning stage pa lang ng pag-conceptualize nung project proposal is, alam mo na that this would be the criteria na isi-set doon that at the end of the project, ito yung i-evaluate if really it is parang addressing or nagkaano ba dun sa objectives mo. So per your objectives, ito pa talagang na-reach niya. And along the way, kasi nasabi during sa MNE, na-document na itong mga important things na to because this will form parang part of yung kabuuan. So, yun yung talagang nakikita ko rin na
so in the middle, malalaman mo na no kung may problema para kung kag mga actions needed interventions. Sige, thank you. Okay, sige, meron pa ba gusto mag-share? Yeah, kaning not measurable mo ginang problema, no? So, napabay gusto mag-share? Wala na ba? So, I think, ano pa ba?
And Doc,
Yes.
gusto ko lang mag-addition lang kasi tinitingnan ko, nabasa ko ngayon yung sa National Greening Program ng DENR. So when I go through yung impact assessment na ginawa din ng PIDS, parang na-publish sa kanila, yung very crucial na selection of yung participants, hindi naka-indicate talaga dun sa report. So ito yung pabalik-balik natin yung the mere selection of yung pagkukunan mo ng data kung sino yung talagang participant sa programa na yon. So parang ginawa lang niya for the participants and then kuha nung sa labas, but tinitingnan ko rin siguro the first time that it was implemented, talagang hindi na consider na sa part of the impact evaluation is very critical yung pagpili ng sino yung magiging participants and the control and the So So yun po, and yung sinasabi niyo po na sanitization of data, ay that's really true. Kasi pag hindi mo i-sanitize, tapos sa area of jurisdiction mo yung project na yun, ay di mapulihan ba? Mapulihan kasi sentro. And
Oo.
another thing, meron pang laro dyan,
Yun,
Dok.
no? Dapat sana hindi ganyan, no?
Ang
Saan ba nato
sinubukan ko,
yun?
Dok, mga classmates din nila. Mga classmates din nila na nasa labas, yun yung nagto-third party eval. Kaya maganda din yung result ng mga evaluation na yun. So that's really reality. So yun po.
No? Tinuod yun siya, no? So, unsaon man nato ni, no? Siguro, sige lang, dili man yun nato ni siya ma-change over time, no? Pero at least kanang basig, kanang kita nga na ay influence, basig pwede ra pud nato siya ihinay-hinay og introduce ba nga. Butangan pud natog negative. Ayaw ni i-erase ta ng negative para na improvement, ana ba? Unta naga-ISO naman no ang halos tanan niya sa ISO kay mga International Standardization for Organization, di ba? ISO certified na halos lahat ng ano. Pero syempre ang mga auditor din ng ISO kung unsa ang ipakita sa ilaha mo pud na ilang basis pud pag recertify niya, syempre ginatago man nato ang dili ano. So anyway,
Nag-effect pa lang siya, Doc, because like kami, nag-ISO man pod mi, unya, nakita namo nga nag-start pa lang gid siya sa sulod. Even the implementation, katong mga nitty-gritty sa process, sa flow, medyo napagay problema. So, ang mga evaluation, tuwa naman dito sa mga end, mao nang unsay gi-expect nila nga maayo, nga sa sulod gani sa along the processes is, daghan kaayo dito yung mga nakita nga mga non-compliance, as far as katong mga processes is concerned. So,
walang monitoring. Walang monitoring, no? Kaya dapat monitoring ba while the program is being implemented, mayroon dapat regular monitoring para kung na deviation ta, ma-correct ba na yung mga corrective action.
Naaman, Dok. Naa siya, Dok, pero dili siya targeted because in the first place, like sa amo lang, no, sa among case, karon lang ang log frame. Like for example, namagod siya mga means of verification. So, katong hindi man sure. So, kung mag-MNE sila, asa may basis nila. So, murag general lang gud kaayo mo, nang di ko kaka-expect na mo change pud ang maka-recommend sila og targeted pud nga mga recommendations. General lang pud ang recommendation niya iyahang i-generate. So, ana ang
measurable.
Dili man siya. Yung katong giingon nimo nga mga objectives nga maglipog tag unsa daw bisan kami nga nagbuhat atong mga objectives sa unsa daw kuno niya ang mga gipang isgutan diri nga di man ni measurable mo ingon tag i-improve nimo ang yield pero walay
number point of reference ko.
Ana so
wala pa yung baseline data. So sa di ko karon pag sulti nga na improve na wa ko baseline data. Pero nga naman
kay kuan po do.
Wala ba yung monitor ana?
Kay ang hiring pod dili sad ing ana ka rigid ang pasabot nako like civil service they will only be requiring the minimum requirement. So between minimum and excellent untana kung ako si appointing authority piliun nako ang bright kay mas daghan ni siya og input but if mo settle lang gid siya with the minimum basta kay naani sa iyaha pwede na siya i-promote. So ang pasabot nako ang sa human resource manggod medyo problema gud ang Pilipinas ana kay masyado tayo highly politicized pagpamangkin ka pag anak ka bisag dili kayo ka extraordinary pwede ka isulod. So maglisod pud tong mga maayo
capability pud sa tao nga na-appoint
sa team gyud kanang team gyud ka
daghan jud kay tag kinahanglan ni improve no pero sige lang at least no nakita nato ang mga unsa ba mga mga aspects na needing improvement. So sa hinay-hinay mo na beauty of pursuing PhD or graduate school no master's degree kay maka-learn man kita bisag usahay kapoy na dita basa pero eventually naagi tay ma-learn bisag gamay nga pwede ra pud nato ma-apply no nya. Kung hinay-hinay nato siya i-apply, di lang pud siguro ka na expected nato nga mura gid siya kanang ingon nila na sili na pagpiga mo ng sili maanghang ka agad pero at least na ay kuan ba no na ay hinay-hinay maka-introduce tag improvement sa ato ang mga respective organizations. Pero minsan din kasi mahirap Ay, basta lisod kayo kadi. Ako gani like,
Pahiro-hiro. Mahilas.
mag-head ng grad school, yaw-yawan ginako sila kay kanang kung nga ako head mo reflect sa ako niya di mo maminaw ana good di sila maminaw na ay policy guidelines pero gusto niyo sa mo do away kay napay mga estudyante nga sige puro hangyo niyo sao na lang nato ninya so ana gid lagi lisod jud siya pero silang laban lang gyapon kasi pag ini-insist mo rin or kung dili ka mo sabay tama pud gyud si Hitler no kay if you cannot beat them join them na lang kay gubot pud kay imong kinabuhi kung kuan pero siguro ano lang pud siguro no kanang at least baka nang maningkamot pud ta nga makatabang gid pud sa community that we are serving or the clients that we are serving ma-improve sila. So, sige. Actually, down to our last topic naman tano. Hello, madungog pa ko ninyo.
Oo, Doc.
Down to our last topic naman ta. So, actually, karon dapat asynchronous man to gi-announce kay tungod lagi sa mga natural ko ano. Pero, yeah, so it's November 18. Kaya pa man siguro, last meeting na to, ang last presenter, okay lang ba? Ihatag, we will have our last meeting para sa presentation ng mga naka-assign na topic sa inyo on November 25. And then sa December, dili na ta mag-meet. I'll see you again sa exam na para time ninyo maghimo sa evaluation proposal. Sige,
Doc.
yes.
Ang nahitabo sa among last time, actually si Ma'am Nelly lang is siguro nawala ang iyahang internet connection. Kay supposed to be ako na ang last presenter karon.
Ay, so naka-present today tanan.
Oh, naka-present na ako. Naulahi lang ang iyaha.
Okay. Abi magud na ko wala pa. Sige.
Oh, naka-present na
Question, okay rata or basig na mo gusto i-share or question, wala.
Wala.
Sige.
So far, wala lang palang nako ma-share no pa. I-share ra nako sa kuan Doc sa GC ang ako ang
sige.
presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So this is our last meeting na pala. So I hope na amoy na learn sa kuan methods of program impact evaluation, and then sige, you can consult me anytime. So wala na klase no from November 25, December 2, December 9. See you na lang sa 16. Kay mo na ang final exam nato. So I will give you the 3 Saturdays na para mag-prepare sa inyong kuan ka ng evaluation proposal. So again, dili necessary no nga sa evaluation proposal kay katong human na ang project. Pwede pud siya plano pa ang project. So plano pud to imo evaluation kay evaluation proposal man ato ang kuan. So yeah, most importantly sa evaluation proposal ninyo ang tan-awon nako for rating is katong justification bitaw to explanation part nganong kana nga method imong napili, difference in differences, unsa ni kanang regression discontinuity or kung unsa man ang napili nimo na evaluation method. And then most importantly po tan-awon nako ang data nga inyong gamiton no sa actually sa evaluation tool kumbaga pareho ra na siya no pre-test post-test ana for example. So ang tan-awon nako dito ang katong mga measurable data as basis for kanang analyzing or estimating impact. So you can consult lang anytime kung namoy pangutana, message lang mo. Pwede ra man pud ta mag-meet gani online sa time sa atong klase kung na jud may pangutana. So, meron pa ba tayong mga concerns? Wala na ba? Wala na. Sige, so
Mag-PM lang ni Doc kung
Okay.
naano mga inquiries or thank you
sige,
Doc.
sige, okay. So I hope you learned something. And most importantly, I hope ang inyong na-learn, especially about evaluation, kahit papano, kahit mahirap, mag-introduce ng change sa organization, at least hinahinay na to sila kuan.
Doc,
kay
pwede mo
internet-
magkana?
Yes, go ahead.
Doc, kanang, ang sa tawagan ni aning, ma'am, Daghan man gud tong kuan ma'am no mga topics. Pwede may mga yug murag pointers para maka-focus mi para sa final exam.
yes, yes.
Kasi may
Yes,
mag-focus.
yes, yes.
Daghan mo kog topics ma'am.
Yes,
Malibog na
yes.
sa kadaghan.
Actually, sa midterm, humana ta sa katong mga methods tanan. So, sige, i-show na ko ang syllabus sa kadela. Dahil lang ha, I'm gonna show you the syllabus para
Actually, Doc, dagan ka imigid na tunan. Ako personally, murag galisod ko aning methods pa kay murag first time gyud nako siya nga na-met and kinahanglan pa nako i-review and all, but dako kayo siya nga mahimong impact sa government gyud, Doc. So ang tanan nga
hopefully, no, hopefully.
useful and bisan sa ginagmay ng sa namo nga project pag ma-implement na siya, pwede na siya ma-replicate sa dinagpuday. So just start from dito sa pinakaubos and it's not impossible ba nga maka-epekto.
Hopefully na may
Thank you kayo, Doc.
hinahinay na to
Thank
siya
you, kayo.
ano po no, ma-introduce ba or ma-implement or then paasan mo syllabus di man yun ako makita sorry, this is first and then bakit mo makita evaluation form.
Doc, sa GC na din, Doc, isulat asa mi mag-focus, murag pointers for the final exam.
Sige. Sige. Nabuang naman ko no asa ako syllabus. Na-open na gito na karon lang, I think nara. Sorry. Makita na ninyo. So mama niya tong syllabus no. Makita ninyo no?
Yes, Doc.
Actually, tapos na tayo ng method. So ang exam na to is more on drill lang yun. Kay, di ba, last midterm, kini man atong questions and kaning sa fundamentals. So, ang final isa, diri lang na part sa implementing impact evaluation. So, katong choosing, managing ethics, disseminating results. More on diri lang siya. Sa lesson part 3 pala. Makita niyo ako screen, no? Okay ra?
Yes, Doc.
Sige.
Thank
So,
you.
drill lang atong ano. Sige.
Thank you, Doc.
Wala na ba tayong iba?
Implementing impact
Evaluation. Yeah, yung part 3.
Part 3.
Oo.
Salamat, Doc.
Okay. So, anything more? Wala na ba? So, pwede mag-screenshot sa akog, open your camera, please. Sige. So, I'll see you on December 16 na sa atong final exam then. Message lang mo kung namoy mga need. Sige. So, stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Doc. Bye, classmates.
Thank you po, Doc.